Hey there, welcome in today. Thanks for joining me. I'd like to talk about curiosity in relation to fluidity in our life. Sometimes, how I like to call it is curiosity can bring fluidity to our lives. And so I'll define a little bit what I mean by curiosity, and I'll also define what I mean by fluidity. Maybe first, let's jump into fluidity. So, fluidity for me is, a felt experience as well as an experience of being more open to myself and others, allowing life to take place, being present to life as it takes place, responding, communicating with life, like being in active relationship with life, relationship, work, whatever I'm engaged in, meditation, etc. But not squeezing it, right? I mean, I think we could probably all agree. Fluidity is not squeezing or, being rigid about ideas, beliefs, ourselves, others. I would say another opposite of fluidity is control. And this is a tough one because when we're struggling, a human quality, I think for I don't know, all of us, but many people I know, including myself, is to try to control. Like when we're struggling with our income, for example, we want to control. We want to, try to make it better. When something's not working, we want to fix it right away. Now, again, I'm not saying like we shouldn't fix something or we shouldn't strive to make sure we have healthy money in our life. Those are important. But there is a difference between working in a fluid way or an open way with those experiences and working in a more rigid or controlling way. So now curiosity. For me, curiosity is a state of mind. It's a state of being where I'm emphasizing living from more questions rather than answers. I sometimes say like living without conclusion needing to be there all the time. Like I notice for me, I can, get quite wrapped up in ruminating thoughts because I'm projecting a reality in the future, or I'm catastrophizing that something bad is going to happen. Or, if I see something going wrong in my life, that it's going to get worse. Right. And to me, this is all kind of like anti-curiosity, where instead the mind of curiosity is open to all possibilities. Is open that there can be lots of options that can become available within any given situation. But there's also a curiosity as a meditator we can apply to each moment. And so, of course, we learn to do this via the strength of our awareness or the aware quality of mind. I often define it as watchfulness, an ability to bear witness, this kind of raw knowing, but there's also a capacity that we know we're knowing. So without getting into too much detail, these are different ways I talk about meditative awareness. Now, meditation is the act of cultivating that awareness, but that awareness is not meditation. That awareness is just our mind, right? It's just innate. Everyone has this, though we don't all have it strengthened. So the process of, for instance, Buddhist meditation, the process of meditative awareness or shamatha is strengthening our connection with that awareness. And for me, this awareness is kind of the main tool of curiosity, because we can start to bear witness to our mind, our bodies, our external phenomena around us, relationships, communication, interactions. We can start to bear witness to that more and more as awareness strengthens. And it's very raw, and raw in the sense, raw or naked in the sense of like, we can do that less and less with beliefs and projections and identities getting in the way. Now, can I do that all the time? No. I mean, I have glimpses as a practitioner, but no, for me, I'm also working on this, just to be clear. But what those moments have taught me is that there's a way to open up to curiosity where we don't have to use the conceptual thinking mind. We can simply just bear witness. So some of you who practice out there, I'm assuming a lot of my listeners are meditators. I don't know though. Please let me know if I'm wrong. this experience I'm talking about. You've probably experienced it in meditation and maybe sometimes out of meditation. And in that, in that space, when we're able to experience that, whether that's larger parts of our day or just for a brief moment, 30 seconds or a minute, there's so much fluidity there, right? And there's also, I think there's curiosity because we're not looking for an answer. We're just being present to what is. Of course, we can also invite curiosity into our life via conceptual questions, or like thinking about something in a new way, or inviting in short phrases of curiosity. Like for me, when I use often is, I just remember, is it really like that? Or is this all there is to this? Or is this person always like this? Because sometimes we can form very limiting beliefs, not just about ourselves, but people around us. And then they become that limiting belief for us, which is just a belief. It's just an idea. Every one of us is a dynamic, moving, changing person or phenomena, I don't know anyone who is the same all the time. Yes, we can get stuck in our patterns of behavior and habits. And so we can sometimes we can be in those ruts, right? And sometimes people can act out in similar ways, whether that's, constructive or unconstructive. But you hear my point here. They're still not a permanent being. They're still changing. And so when we ask questions like, is this person, is that all they are, or is there more to them, or can I, I wonder how they are with their family, or I wonder how they are outside of work, or I wonder how they are when they're less stressed, or something like that. Whatever question we can ask to open up our perception about others. To me, this is a form of generosity. This is a form of love. It's a form of respecting others. I think this is in short supply these days. Why? Because I don't know about you, I struggle a lot with judgment towards myself. And of course, then I struggle with judgment towards others. And then there's less honest communication, right? There's less relationship to be had because we've already put ourselves or the other person in a box. So some practical tips here is I recommend starting to bring this practice of curiosity in either through raw awareness or through, gentle questions, right? Gentle ideas or thoughts to open up something. So I recommend doing this first towards oneself. This can be really helpful because sometimes we struggle with our own self-perception. We limit ourselves, or some of us think a little too high of ourselves. Like that's also possible, right? So either way, we can open up these questions because this all has to come from a place where we care. We want to suffer less. We want to help others to suffer less. We want to open up to more fluidity. So how do we do that? We start becoming more curious. And so, obviously I've been talking about it so far, but the opposite of curiosity for me is judgment, right? Is when I get rigid in my beliefs about myself and others. And I am using the word belief because belief isn't just an ideology. Belief is little to medium to large ideas we all hold about ourselves and others, or even that like a certain snack is more delicious than another snack, or a certain drink we like is the best drink in the world. That's all beliefs, right? It's all based on judgment. Now, I want to be clear here. I use judgment in two different ways. We can also use the word judgment to represent like taking a decision based on, perceiving different, I don't want to use the word facts, but let's say like just sort of, we have to take decisions in life, right? I mean, we can't live life without decisions. Every day we take all kinds of decisions, some small, some large. So I wouldn't put that into like this kind of limiting or rigid judgment, though it is connected, but I would say we have to do that. So we can also use curiosity for that as well. But I'm kind of separating them. So this judgment of like, or discernment of taking a decision, that's fine. We all have to do that. But this extra judgment where we're limiting ourselves in our beliefs about the world, our own worth, the worth of others, all of that, those can be quite intense and cause a lot of pain. I noticed for me, a lot of my pain is in relation to that. You know, usually when I get upset with someone or upset with a situation, for me, I struggle more with like being upset with a situation. Like, I'm trying to record a video and it's really loud outside, like those kind of things, you know? And then I start judging, right? And then anger comes based off of that. And it really destroys my mood. It destroys my day. And so immediately I can see anger is not an emotion I want to feed. And so what do? I have to become curious. So that's why I thought to share this with you. This is kind of one of my main practices I do off the cushion. I do it on the cushion too. In Buddhism, in Tibetan Buddhism, we also practice quite a bit of analytical meditation where we'll use a set of reasonings to question certain way we're looking at reality, right? And we're trying to open up a wider perspective on that. But I tend to use curiosity as a practice just throughout my day. I did a previous video on some ways of nurturing healthy relationships. And for me, this has been a great tool in my relationships of just sort of, you know, when I'm struggling in communication in one of my close relationships in my life, just, you know, for me, I'm talking to me now, not any of you. I'll tell myself, just shut up for a second. Please just be quiet and just listen, but listen beyond the words, you know, feel the person, try to understand, empathize with them, try to understand where they're coming from. And to me, this is a form of curiosity. I think when empathy and compassion come together, empathy being this sense where we can we're trying to put ourselves out there to understand where this person is coming from, more in a felt way. And then when we switch that over to compassion, which is understanding that they're also suffering, you know, if they're struggling with us or someone else, they're experiencing pain or dissatisfaction in some kind of way. And so the compassion is this wish that they can be free from that. So automatically we're being generous in our way of relating to them, which opens up, curiosity. So there's so much to say about this. I just wanted to share some ways I work with it. Please let me know in the comments below on YouTube, or if you're listening on Spotify and iTunes, please feel free to reach out to me at scotttusa.com. Let me know, how this lands for you. How do you use this in your life? I'd love to know what you do, because I feel like practices of curiosity are endless. They're huge because we're all different. And so we can use the practice of curiosity in different ways. We all come, with slightly different backgrounds or vastly different backgrounds. So, I think that's about it. Thanks so much for joining me today, and wishing you all the best. Thanks.